Hi, Marianne. Hello, hello.
Hi dear. Hi dear. Hi dear.
Can you hear me?
I
You
can.
can.
You're so tall today.
I
Now you
know. I
just pulled
know.
it down.
I'm not in the usual Ladies Power Lunch studios recording today. I'm so funny. I amuse myself. It's good that I amuse myself because I amuse no one else.
Ah. Oh, you don't know that. You might be amusing a whole lot of people.
Oh, you never know. Stranger things have happened. Am I right, Dina? Hey, Dina. Hey, Michelle. So I thought we would start today. Um, I love the way one of my mentors likes to start her meetings. Darla, she likes to ask if anybody has any celebrations. And so I would invite you, Marianne, Dina, Michelle, what are you celebrating today?
I am celebrating that I joined the Women Empowering Women Elite Circle, and I have my first meeting tonight. It's our first mastermind meeting.
I like it.
And I also joined Pamela's her podium.
Awesome.
So I'm on like the second level. So that starts September 1st. So I've got some cool things happening just to continue to help me develop.
We have room for a few more shares of celebrations. That's what we're doing right now, sharing celebrations. What's been good? What's been going very, very well for you? Marianne, did you have one? I
I
thought I
do.
saw your hand up.
I'm working on something that's very woo woo, very spiritual, in asking people questions and the downloads that I receive to give them. And anyway, just starting to hear back from some of the volunteers, my guinea pigs, has been very, very encouraging. Just really uplifting for me, because that's the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I want to uplift. So
That's awesome. And I happened to um, be in the conversation when one of your guinea pigs was giving you feedback, and that was pretty exciting.
yeah,
So
I've heard from two others so far. So
oh, lovely. I'm
very.
happy to hear that. Hi, Pat. Hi, Lynn. What we're doing right
Hi.
now is we're sharing celebrations. So, Michelle, did you want to go ahead and share something that's been going really, really well for you? You are muted, so if you would go ahead and unmute yourself, that would be awesome because then we could hear you.
Yeah, a few months of Zooming, you think I'd have this figured out by now. So I've been working on making a children's book. It's about fostering puppies and adoptions and basically love. And I mentioned it to, I was having trouble with the bio, and I mentioned it to somebody, and he got me in touch with his brother, who is an NPR award-winning writer, which I didn't know when I reached out to his brother, and he's helping me with my bio, because I wanted the bio to be perfect for as perfect as the book is. So yeah, so I just learned that like 5 seconds ago that I have this amazing writer that's helping me for just out of the kindness of his own heart.
You know what I love? I love, and you guys can attest to this because I'm sure it happens to all of you as well. Hi, Allison. Hi, Robin. Hi, Prati. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Liz. Did I say hi to you, Lynn? I think I did.
You did.
I'm happy to see all of you. I love how you make one connection and then it forms another connection and another one. And before you know it, you're talking to a best-selling author who's going to help you with your book project. It all works so, so very well. I was just on total random tangent. As you guys know, I actually do have a job. I was talking to one of my patients this morning, and we are just talking about how we're all going so fast and we're rushing and we're busy, and how one of my favorite things about Einstein is that he took a lot of naps. And if we would slow down a little bit, sometimes we would be more open to receiving the connections and the coincidences and the beautiful things that can happen for us in our lives. And also when we're not too stressed out and worried about it, that helps too, I think.
Mhm.
So wonderful, wonderful. I love your celebration, Michelle. I have room for two more celebrations. Anybody interested in going?
Sure, I'll go.
Lynn, please go.
Sure.
Tell us what's good and exciting with you.
What's good and exciting is all of the pieces are coming together. I love that I'm in the new collaboration for your book, the Transformation 2020. So the chapter's coming together. I'm really excited about it because it's information that people don't know about me, but I think will really inspire and move me forward in the business that I am in as I build my platform. Everything is happening right now, so the timing is really perfect for everything.
I
Oh,
love perfect
yeah.
timing. I think that's so great. Awesome. And thank you
Divine
for
timing. Yeah.
taking us up on the invitation to be a part of the collaborative work that we're doing, which Elizabeth is here to talk about a little bit more later on today. We have room for, let me look at the time. We could take two more celebrations. Anybody particularly called to just celebrate what's good and what's going on with you right now? Tanya, is that you waving your hand over there? Unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Um, I'm excited because I started my podcast and I just created an additional channel because I have to have exclusive interviews. So it's coming together. It's the Coffee with Tea show now. So
Awesome. I saw that on Facebook, and I don't know if you saw that. I liked it, and I may have made a little comment, but that was wonderful. I'm so, so excited for you. I think, Marianne, you're developing your show into a podcast as well, right? Yes, excellent, excellent. Great stuff. I have room for one more celebration. I'm sure we have one more person here today who has something to celebrate. It could be that you made it to the mailbox today or you took your pet for a walk. I don't care. I'm just open to hearing all about it. Robin, you look like you want to share.
Yes. I have just had the biggest energetic shift over the past week, and I'm just like feeling in a total different space and energy, and I'm like seeing my whole life and like, wow, it's like I was grained from a child, like from a small child to lead this journey that I'm on, and it's just like I'm seeing it with new eyes, and it's really cool. So I'm very excited.
Excellent. I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you guys for, being open to sharing about what's going on with you and to sharing your celebrations, because in sharing our celebrations, this is how we raise the vibration. And when one person's celebrating and we're all celebrating together, it really causes us all to have great things going on in our lives. I promise you, I know this for sure because I've lived it, right? And I was just talking to one of my patients about this. I have so many stories to tell, and it's because, well, mama has lived. She's been through a lot. What can I say? So today is every August for Ladies Power Lunch, we have what we call our book club edition. And basically, what we ask everybody to do is to look through the books that you've been reading for this year and bring a book that has been meaningful for you. It could be an inspirational book, or it could be a book that is business growth related. It doesn't matter. One of those two categories is perfectly fine. So we invite you to bring your book, talk a little bit about you, talk a little bit about what the book has meant for you, and then we're going to put it on the list. We post the list on Amazon, and everybody has an opportunity to read these books as we go through the year so that we can all be inspired and we can all grow our businesses together. Because you ever have a friend who has this book that has been so groundbreaking and life changing in their lives and they never told you a word about it? They said nothing. How could they have kept that great information to themselves? So we're not going to be that friend. We're going to share all this wonderful information with each other, and we're all growing together. So I'm going to just go around the room based on how we are on my screen. As people pop in and out, it might change, people might move, but let's start with Dina. Dina, did you bring a book that you wanted to share with us? So what you're going to do is you're going to tell us your name, the name of your business, and a little bit about what you do, and then tell us your book recommendation. And I'm keeping notes of all the books so that we can post them up on Amazon. So let me see if we can unmute you. Nope.
Okay.
There you are.
Yep. Hi, my name is Dina Otrin. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I have a private practice in Westbrook, Connecticut, and I'm Reiki 3 certified. I'm a yoga yoga certified for adults and children. So holistic is something that I always bring into my office, and life coaching also I bring in with my clients. One of the things I was running in my office was a women's empowerment group, and that was actually, I was in the midst of it when COVID happened. So my very last session with them before we had to kind of disband, I bought them all this book, and it's called Get Over It, and it's by Anne Bonny, and it's 47 tips for embracing the discomfort of change. And I know Lynn also had the privilege of being on a call with her to talk about this book. And I wondered if Lynn was going to have it today. And it was just great to be able to have the conversation with the author about her book. So she came up with 5 Ps in ways of kind of embracing and overcoming change. And I love how she writes. It's a very easy read. It's humorous. It's very direct, right to the point. And even the women that I gave this to really enjoyed it. So I wanted to share it today.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like the title. It definitely grabs your attention.
Yes.
So that is
Yeah.
definitely going on the list. Okay, so next on my screen is Lynn. Lynn, would you be okay with sharing next? So I need for you to unmute. I'm trying to unmute you, but it's not happening. There we go.
I kind of have 2 books. I hope it's okay. I don't have to do 2
That's
books.
fine. I'm looking forward to hearing it. So what do you do?
I am Lynn Gallant. I am in health, wellness, fitness with a platform of Juice Plus, Tower Garden, and now I've added clean crafted wines just to make it fun because I am all about clean and sustainable living. I feel that lifestyle changes are really the best way to lead yourself to overall best health and wellness for yourself. And during COVID, I was able to watch a woman by the name of Smith Banfield talk about clear space. And this book goes so far above and beyond like a Marie Kondo kind of clear space. It really connects with your individuality, your emotions, your mindset when it comes to clearing space, not only within yourself, but within your world. So highly, highly recommend this book. It really was a really great go-to on the process of disconnecting yourselves from things that are holding you back.
Who's the author on that?
Smith Banfield.
Okay.
And really, really powerful for me. And the other one that I recently am almost done with is called Feast and Famine, Healing with Addiction and Grace by Robin Hansler Clare. She is within our network. I recently added her to your group. And it is a book specifically on healing through eating disorders. And it is written very spiritually. but it's something that I personally connect with. And it's written just so well from something that I think a lot of people can relate to, because there's a lot of spirituality within it. So very well connected.
Awesome. And I'm really excited that she's a part of our community, because one
Yes.
of the things that I really do suggest with our community is that you really get connected with the people who are here, because there's some really outstanding people. If we talked last month about collaboration and how we can definitely use collaboration to grow our businesses, grow our impact, grow our income. But the people that we need to collaborate with, I promise you guys, they're right here in the room. They are not hiding. They're not, you know, anywhere distant from you. And if it's somebody in the group that you're not 100% familiar with, there's somebody else in the group that you're familiar with who's friends with them. So get to know our friends in Ladies Power Lunch, and it can only be positive for sure. The next person on my screen right now is Marianne. Marianne, would you be willing to share your book? Of course, first tell us who you are, what you do.
Oh, I'm Marianne Pack. I have mariannepack.com. I'm a spiritual guide, and I help people move into their manifestation mastery. So my favorite book, because my one of my favorite books, I study a lot, and I feel like my mentor is Abraham Hicks. So their Ask and It Is Given book. Yay! There's another cohort. Just because this is, it really aligns you with who you really are. I mean, it just keeps referring back to who are you really on the inside, on the spiritual side. But also in the back, there's 22 processes that they offer that you can read through that, you know, can help you connect to you. So I like this because I have something, these are really good processes that I can offer people, you know, when they're kind of stumped a little bit and they need a little exercise to do, that really will lend insight to maybe where their blocks are or where they need to fine tune on their thinking patterns. So love, love, love. Ask and It Is Given. Of course, any of Abraham Hicks' books, but this one I refer to all the time. It's well marked up and scribbled in, so I refer to this one a lot.
I like that book too. One of the processes that I like is the focus wheel, because you know how sometimes you might not be feeling as high vibration as you might want to be. And I am always trying to improve my vibration, always trying to feel better. And it is a really good process for going from where you're stuck to very gradually, little at a time, moving into a place where you feel a lot better. So I like that one a whole lot. Yep,
Yeah.
great choice. Thank you. I'm looking forward to adding it. I think we had this one on the list maybe 2 years ago, so it's a good reminder, a good revisit. Awesome. Let's see. Robin, I have you next on my screen.
Yeah, I'm Robin Finney. I'm an authenticity and intuitive guide, and I'm currently offering these amazing Girls Night Inward parties where you can connect with your circle on a deeper level. So reach out to me if you're interested. I am an audiobook girl. I try to sit and read, and I do better when I'm on the go. So I took a road trip to Colorado, and it was a huge cleansing experience for me. And I listened to the Surrender Experiment, which some of you may have already read. Michael
Who's
A.
the
Singer.
author?
Michael A. Singer.
Okay.
Michelle has it too. He also wrote The Untethered Soul, which I read that a couple years ago. But this book just totally opened my eyes to one, just saying yes and trusting the universe. And he just tells a story and how everything is just like in alignment, and he just kind of basically just surrenders, and it's like an opportunity comes, and he, even if he feels resistance with it, he leans into it, and then it's just like he ends up building $1 billion company. And it's just quite amazing hearing his story. And so that really has made a big impact on me. And that's kind of my blog. I've been doing a 30-day blog challenge, and it was born, part of it was born out of listening to this book. And then the other book that I've listened to recently is, which many of you may have already read as well, is How to Be an Anti-Racist, Ibram X. Kendi. And it's really confronting and eye-opening and raw, and it's just been very supportive of me on my own race journey and kind of uncovering more around anti-racism in this topic. So I've really highly recommend that book as well.
Cool, cool, cool. Thank you so much, Robin.
I'm
Tanya.
sorry, Robin, what was the name of the first book by Michael Singer?
Yeah, it's called The Surrender Experiment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, this whole list will be posted in the Ladies Power Lunch forum. It's going to be in the announcements. It's going to take the place of the old list. So look out for it, and it will link right back to Amazon. So if you want to purchase the book there, you can. Or if you have your local small bookstore that you like to purchase from, we definitely recommend that over anything else anyway. All right, so the next person on my list was going to be Tanya, but Bridget, you're up here now. Why don't you go next?
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No, it's
cut
okay.
ahead. I don't have a book to show because I now listen to pretty much everything on Audible, but
That's
the one
fine.
that I cannot recommend enough is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. First of all, she's an amazing writer, and I do recommend you listening to the book just because she's also a really good narrator, and she's
What's her
narrated
last name?
Oh, Doyle, Glennon Doyle, Glennon Doyle. And I recommend listening to it because she's also a really good narrator, because she's narrating her own story. And it's about women just owning their power and owning all that they are, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, everything else. If you are interested, the book before her called Love Warrior. Sorry. The book before her called Love Warrior, before Untamed, is called Love Warrior. And I do recommend for context that you read that book. It's a very good book. It's actually being made into a movie by Oprah.
Now we all have to read it.
Yeah, but then Untamed takes off where Love Warrior, she's trying and striving for happiness, and she kind of ends at a mixed place at the end of Love Warrior, and then Untamed is how she finds just this ebullient happiness in her life, going in a direction she never would have imagined for herself. So, and Robin was shaking her head when I mentioned the book. So Robin, from one goddamn cheetah to another, you have to read the book to find out what that means.
Oh, now we really, really need to read it. So Bridget, just before you go, tell us what it is that you do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my company is Story Matters. I'm a consulting and training company. I'm at heart, I'm a clarity company. I help individuals and small to mid-sized businesses gain clarity around the areas of unconscious and gender bias, interpersonal communication, and storytelling and public speaking.
Oh, those are all the things. Excellent. Okay, so Tanya, would you unmute and share with us who you are, what you do, and what's the book that you'd love for us to all read together this year?
My name is Tanya Tyler. I'm retired military, so I'm a YouTube full-time creative now. Let's see, I love to read, so it was kind of hard to narrow down some books. So I think I got, you said which one I'm currently reading or one of my favorites. So there's a lot of favorites.
Favorite. The one
Oh,
that
there's a lot of favorites.
if we don't read it, we're missing out.
Well, that's still a hard choice. But anyway, I'm gonna choose. I got two. I just narrowed it down to two at least.
Okay.
So I have I'm probably not gonna say your name right. Jen Cincinnati. So, you know, You're a Badass. Y'all know what this one is. So yes, this one is about the money, but she also has the You Are a Badass book. Originally, I had that as well, but You Are a Badass with Money if you're on another level of finances. And then if you're
what you love.
and if you're looking at your YouTube, I would definitely recommend this as a current read, YouTube Secrets. Highly
Who's
recommend
the
it.
author on that one?
This is Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. They do Think Media. So if you're big on like secrets behind YouTube, check out their channel. Benji Travis and Sean Cannell. They got some great clarity on how to get your YouTube going and monetize it. So
Okay, so that sounds like a really, really good book for all of us to read.
It's a super simple, easy read, really thin, easy read.
I'm gonna recommend to everybody, like, if you get a chance to read that book or really any book about how to make your YouTube better, it's a good idea because remember, YouTube is the #2 platform for internet searches in the whole wide world. #1 internet search platform is Google. Who owns YouTube? Also Google. So as much as we can learn about YouTube, I feel like we really, really should. Yeah.
One thing it blew my mind the first I can't find it right the moment, but basically he just touched on what you said, and I was like, geez. I was like, if this was worth paying the book, my husband actually bought it for me, which was really nice. But he's basically saying that YouTube is a search engine, and that's what you need to do. And the question is, when you're going in there and putting your content up there, and always asking, what question are you looking to answer? And that was like a brain. I was like, you're there to provide an answer to somebody's question. So when you're providing your content, that's always thinking is, what am I solving?
I love that. Thank you, Tanya. I feel like that was so useful, you sharing that book with us. So, like I said before, all of these books, they are going to be, at some point, I am going to actually get it done, make it into a list on Amazon so that you can just go on and purchase the ones that are interesting to you. Michelle, I have you next on my screen. Are you available to share your book? I don't think you went yet. There you are.
I'm a massage therapist that I got into massage to heal myself. I'm one of those massage therapists, and then just learned all the other magic and healing, and I got into Reiki, and now I teach Reiki. And I had a room at the Bridge Healing Arts Center, which I just closed, and I am going to go to people's homes to teach Reiki there, because hopefully we love our homes or our offices. So, most of us have created a safe haven in our homes and offices. So that's where we love to be. So why not teach them in the magic of Reiki in the place they most love being in? So it was just a thought that came to me during COVID, one of the many, many blessings of this great pause. And I was also a collaborative author in Liz's book, The Great Pause. So
yes, you were. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, co-author.
Hey.
So do you have a book that you are recommending for us today?
Yes, I can't help but suggest The Untethered Soul to literally everybody. I don't care where you are in your journey. I have read this probably close to 1,000 times. I've listened to the Audible. The thing is, when I read it, I practice it, and that's what gets me closer to myself. There is another book, because I figured everybody's already read The Untethered Soul. So there was another book. It is called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. Now, this book was just a ton of fun to read, and it had a lot of like just creative, interesting things like that you can do to get that creativity out and find, find the core of your own self and all those lovely things.
Would you
Some
hold
of
it
them,
up for me again?
yeah. Excuse me, your life is waiting.
Okay. I was
Lynn,
trying to see the author.
Lynn Grabhorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And why do you like that one so much?
I liked it because of all, like, it had just all the activities in it. They were just different things I wouldn't have thought of, things I haven't done yet, and things I did. I actually did do a lot of the things. So because usually I'll read something and just the things that they're not resonating with me, and like this was like, yeah, it just seemed easy and fun, and it really was. It was an easy and fun book to play with.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
this is my go-to. And
It's
the
a good
surrender experiment was amazing, to just listen to that guidance moment by moment to moment to moment.
Excellent. Allison, I'm going to unmute you, or at least try. Uh-oh. I think we were both doing it at the same time. There you are. Hey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Raymond. I own Allison's Animal Academy. I do dog walking, dog training, and animal Reiki. So I am a little unprepared. This was a very last minute thing for me to join, so I apologize.
It's okay. We welcome you. Glad you made it, right? And trust me.
I'm not even home to have any of my books.
It's okay.
So I'm at a client's house, so I don't even have any of my books to pull off the shelf to look at. So I'll probably be able to pull a title off my head and kind of say half the title. I won't be able to tell you any of the author's names. So I really do apologize for not being unprepared. I can't, and plus all the books I've been reading for the past year have been dog training books.
So tell us, Allison, a little bit about what you do.
So basically, I like to refer to myself as a pet care specialist because I do a variety of things. But what I tell people I do is dog training, dog walking, and animal Reiki. But if you can't really put that on a business card, dog training, dog walking. So I like to refer to myself as a pet care specialist because I'm not just one thing. None of us are really one thing. I've listened to everybody talk about, what they do, and we're not just one. We're not one thing. And plus the services that I provide to my clients, they're very customized and specialized to what they need. If you have dogs or animals, you know that everyone's different. Every dog is different to what they need. And plus my clients will ask me, well, my dog is having these problems, and sometimes it has to do with their diet, and sometimes I can help them with things that they need for their diet and their treats and stuff like that. So it's not just specified to the training or the walking or the Reiki. And so I don't like to niche myself into one hole. So I kind of like to, I came up with that title about 10 years ago. I've been working with animals for almost 10 years, and I came up with it. Pet care specialist, because that's what I feel I do. And then I just kind of stick with that because it's how I feel that I am.
Awesome. So welcome. I mean, the fact of the matter is you didn't have to bring a book because some of us brought more than one. So it's okay. If you have one that comes off the top of your head, that's great. And if you don't, that's fine too. And there's no reason to apologize, no reason to be sorry.
Well, I was gonna say the You're a Badass book that I haven't read it in a while, but that one I did read a a little bit ago, and it resonated with me for just where I was at a period in my life. So that was an important book. And I think it's, if you're a woman and you're reading it and you're kind of, in a specific point in your life, but where I was in, starting my business over again and, being, we need the reminder of where we're at. And so that resonated with me, that I needed that reminder to know that I am a badass, that I can do this, even being a business owner, a woman on my own, living on my own, or being where I'm at. So that did resonate with me. And so that's kind of one of the books that I do like. So with that being said, that's probably the one thing that I can remember.
That's awesome. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate so much you even taking the time to join us today. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to move on to Pat. Pat, I'm trying to unmute you. I'm not sure why it's not happening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, good. All right. Yay. Hi, everyone. I'm Pat Giordano. I'm a travel specialist, so one-stop arrangements, whether it's land or sea journeys. And in the last 5 months, I've been wearing the travel advocate hat and helping clients with cancellations, rebookings, travel insurance, refunds, etc. And I want to encourage everyone to dream now, because we will be traveling at some point later. One book that I want to recommend, I just downloaded it, so I have not begun it, but I listened to the author, Dr. Robin DiAngelo. And the title of the book is White Fragility, Fragility. And I came across her back in May when there were a lot of protests around the country, the killings, the police brutality, etc. And she's a powerful white speaker and talks about, and like I said, I have not read it, but I was extremely impressed by her acknowledgement of our unconscious biases and our privilege attitude, and how we have to consciously begin to unbuild that and retrain ourselves. So I feel her book is a very powerful tool going forward after the pandemic.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. I'm putting that one on the book, Dr. Robin DiAngelo, White Fragility.
White Fragility.
And I have personally not read that book yet either, but I think that might be one of the first ones that I will take a look at when I'm looking at our list. Thank you so much for sharing, Pat.
You're welcome.
Mina, I'm gonna try to unmute you, but it doesn't seem to be working when I try to do it, so let me let you do it yourself.
All right. Yeah, so I am Mina Ithel. I'm a holistic life coach with the business Love Life Now Coaching, and I'm also a teacher, so we're going back Friday. So,
wow.
Yeah. So my business basically helps the woman who is just unfulfilled in their career. Either they just aren't happy because they're not doing what they love. So I help women either move to a different 9-to-5 type position or help them to start a business that really lights them up. And the book that I really like was actually recommended by my life coach trainer, and she's also my life coach currently. And I do a lot of audibles too. It's called Outrageous Openness, and it's all about letting the divine take the lead. And it is so powerful to read as an audio because Tosha Silver, Tosha Silver, she does the narration, and all her stories are just unbelievable. Just her stories of trusting in the universe, trusting in the divine. And then one day on Facebook, I saw that my life coach had a card, and I was like, what is that card? And it was one of those like oracle cards, And so it ended up being that Tosha Silver has her own cards, and they're really amazing because the cards are awesome because they have a Ganesha. I don't, and if any of you know Ganesha, but in Hinduism, which is where my parents are from, they have Ganesha is the god of overcoming obstacles. So I don't consider myself very, very Hindu, religious Hindu, but more spiritual. And Ganesha is one of the gods that I really resonate with. Yeah, you can see that better there. And then I like how on the back it just has like a message. So that author is very good. And then she also has, which I haven't read, I think it's called Change Me Prayers. And then there's another one that's about money. It's not something, it's not your money.
It's her book, It's Not Your Money.
Yeah.
It was on our book list for our last book list. And we do like her a lot. Outrageous Openness was not on the list. So now we're going to read it this year. So that's awesome.
In audio, it's even better.
Yes, I like her in Audible. I actually like to listen to her in Audible because she's telling her own story, and it sort of gives it a little bit more power that way. So I love that for sure. Awesome. Thank you, Mina. And Michelle, you're next on my screen. Are you in a position to share? I'm trying to unmute you, but I'm not
Sorry.
successful. There we are.
I'm driving. I already did one. I already went though, but yeah.
Oh, I was talking to Michelle Smiley. I'm sorry.
Ah!
I was not very specific in my Michelle references.
Sorry.
All is well.
So can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you see me?
I'll see you in a minute. Just keep talking. You'll show up.
Okay. All right. Well, I have several books, actually. I have one that is from our eWomen group. It's called Go For It. And it has different inspirational stories of different people that have done different things. And it's a very inspirational book.
Who is the author on that?
Amy August. She is our
Oh, Amy. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Amy had a book.
Yeah, so it's very inspirational. I really like it.
Awesome.
People in it. Yeah. So that's one of them.
Okay.
The other one I have is Getting Rich.
So hang on, stop for a second. Guys, Amy's one of our members, so we definitely have to check out her book.
Yes.
Okay, keep going, Michelle.
Getting It Rich by Monica Shaw. I believe she's one of your members too. And she's very inspirational and telling you how that when you start a business, you start it out how you think you're supposed to do it, but you're actually doing it backwards. And it has different steps to follow. So I really like that one.
Awesome.
I have another one. It's called Be the Magic of You, and that's with Terry. And Karjala is her last name. And it's called Talking with Terry is her website. But she is really good. She has a podcast as well. And she's very inspirational and spiritual.
I like the cover on that book. It's very pretty. Michelle, how about you tell us a little bit about you and your wonderful, wonderful business?
I own Making Memories by Michelle. I do businesses to be different. I create handmade custom cards specifically typed to your business, thank you cards and stuff like that. I'm able to do stuff a lot different than other things. I'm able to put your information on the back of your cards. I have an example. This is actually Amy Augusti. She also has a painting company that's in her group. This is her card that I did, and with her logo on the back and her information, and then my information too. But I also do appreciation items for people, and all kinds of different things. But I do them all by hand.
Awesome. I love that you do it by hand, and that's when you get something that's done by hand, it's a work of art. It's not just a mass-produced item, and I like that a whole lot.
And in this day and age, people really appreciate that. Going to
Yes.
their mailbox and opening something up.
Yes, 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 absolutely. All right, and I think Christina, you might be the only person that hasn't gone yet.
I have not gone.
Oh,
Hi.
Awesome.
Hi.
So I'm Christina. I'm an ontological coach, and it's always interesting when I say that because most people don't know what ontology or an ontological coach is, and it's the art of being a human being, and it's not even something I do. It's something I am, and it's really important to me to always get better so that I can support my clients better, so I can support my communities better, and so picking a book is quite challenging because I love books and I recommend books all the time. And I usually recommend books based on the person and what I think they're going to hear best. So picking ones I think everyone should read is kind of against the grain for like what I normally do. So my first one I was going to go to is Surrender Experiment because that's the most recent one that's been incredibly impactful. And I think when we can boil it down to just us and be able to be a strength and the center of our power, no matter what we're in or where we go or what we do, that's profound. But someone already recommended that one. So can I give like my top 3?
Okay.
Do you mind?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Christina, for you, I'm gonna let it happen.
Thank you. I promise that next time there's a rule, though, it'll be 1. But for like the ones I think that everyone should know just for being a better human, I think The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. I love all her books. She's the one author I buy her book the minute it comes out. And but that's a good place to start. So if someone's new to personal growth, The Gifts of Imperfection is easy to read. It's simple. It's not too much at once. Then kind of the next step in the journey would be Codependent No More by Melody Beattie, because I think every person has a bit of codependence in us.
Yep.
And when you can really own that, it's a toss up between that one and Why Won't You Apologize by Harriet Lerner. So I guess it's 4, sorry. And then the last one is The Big Leap. So if you've been successful, if you've been doing well, but there's something's off and you know you need to go to the next step, like that one I recommend all the time to high performance leaders. And The Big Leap is excellent because it takes you from your zone of success to your zone of genius. And it's really about being your best all the time. So those are kind of my top picks. The Why Won't You Apologize by Harriet Lerner was huge for me in recognizing that what an apology, like deconstructing an apology, because so many of us are familiar with, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's just not an apology.
Well, you know what? Pat, I'm going to just apologize here because I said I was going to read your book first, but it looks like I'm going to read Christina's book first, Why Won't You Apologize? For some reason, that is resonating with me right now. So I'm looking forward with great anticipation, Christina, to hearing your book. I think there's only one person that I haven't heard from yet, and that's Carlene. Carlene, are you in a position to share your book recommendation, or if you're not, that's fine. We can always have you post it up on the Facebook group. Okay, looks like we're going to be posting up on the Facebook group. Awesome. Well, ladies.
Davia?
Yes.
Hey, it's Bridget. I'm sorry. I have to recommend one more.
Oh, okay. All right. We're up to 23. Let's hear what it is.
It's called Educated by Tara Westover. And it is a book that I started on a Sunday afternoon listening to. She also reads it, and finished on a Monday night. It is a true story of a woman who grew up in a cult-like family in Idaho and how she changed her life and got out of that lifestyle and went on to go to Oxford and Harvard.
Oh, that's
And
huge. Okay.
if
What's the name
if
of the book
you're
again?
someone educated
Okay.
by Tara Westover, it is an amazing story. And if you're someone who has been trying to make a change, if this girl can change given the way she grew up,
It's possible for anybody.
it's possible for anyone. It's just, I cannot say enough about how well it's written and everything that she went through. It's an amazing story, and it reads like a novel. So it doesn't read like, it's not meant to be a self-help book. It's a memoir, but you get a lot of self-help, I think, out of it. And it reads like a novel. You won't be able to put it down.
Awesome. Thank
So
you, Bridget.
thanks for indulging me.
Oh, absolutely. So in the interest of time, you know, we always have these great plans about how the meeting's gonna run, but it never ever goes the way we plan. So in the interest of time, what I want to do is I want to just have a little quick conversation with Liz about the book that she has that is launching tomorrow. So Liz, go ahead and unmute yourself and just share with us for a quick minute about that.
Yeah, so this is wildly exciting. This was a project that the universe handed to me and I ran with. This was not something that really I had an idea about. This was given to me. The book is called The Great Pause, Blessings and Wisdom from COVID-19. And it began because at the time of all of this starting, I was coaching like 30 different people. I was talking to people all over the country and really getting a bird's eye view of what people were going through. And they were sharing a lot of things that, yes, they were having a hard time. There was a lot of intense things they were going through. But I was amazed by the gratitude that they expressed for this time, the different blessings that they were experiencing and receiving, even in the midst of the, everything changing in most of their lives.
And Elizabeth, I wanna interject here because I really called you on quickly and I didn't introduce you properly. So can you just explain what it is that you do so that people have an idea about when you talk about coaching and counseling with your clients, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. So this is actually a bit of a shift that happened during COVID. So I run the company Green Heart Living. We now are Green Heart Living Press. I have my master's in social work. My background's in the nonprofit field and organizing collaborations, and I've done a lot of writing for nonprofits. I've self-published under the Green Heart Living Press 2 books, Love Notes, Daily Wisdom for the Soul, and Green Your Heart, Green Your World, Avoid Burnout, Save the World, and Love Your Life. And I looked around one day and realized 8 out of 10 of my clients are writers. People are coming to me that are writers. They're writing their story. And because I have a background in, I actually was trained as an ontological coach as well as Christina was. And I've helped people learn mindfulness. I was a yoga teacher as well. And I got my Reiki 2 with Michelle. But I help people. So I've done a lot of different coaching, but I've looked around and said, hey, I'm coaching writers. There's a lot that comes up as people write stories, especially people that have anxiety or stress. These things come up as you're writing because there's a lot of reasons not to publish the book once you write it. You're like, oh man, I don't want this story to go out there, or you might get writer's block or shut down. There's so many obstacles too in the writing process. I love that I can coach people through very hard situations. One of our authors in the collaborative book, Barbara Milton, Dr. Barbara Milton, I've coached her for 1.5 years, and we didn't really think it would take a year and a half, but she faced cancer. She faced all sorts of things during that time while she was writing a memoir about her mother's passing. And her mother passed during the book wasn't about her passing. The book was about her with Alzheimer's, and then she passed. So because I have the background in social work, because I have the mindfulness tools under my belt, because I've lived it myself, I can help people through that process as well. And we use writing to heal their stories, to heal themselves, and to use that to inspire others too. So it's a little hard for me to explain what's happening and the work that I do as for all of us. But this is evolving, and the collaboration experience is something absolutely miraculous. I didn't know what it would be when we started, and I threw out the idea to write this book. And reading the stories of people, what they have gone through, 25 people, helped me get through this. I mean, I had the blessing of getting to read these chapters before they went out into the world, right? I got to see them early on, and I know we don't know what's going to be happening next, right? We don't know what the future holds for us. And this is everyone learns something different during this time and are learning, right? I know I learned during the course of writing a book, I learned like 3 new things. Next month, I'll learn something else, right? And so the book is like a snapshot to get to see what this time is like. We've captured it for all of time, for history, and the connections that are being made in this collaboration. When I see somebody being on a podcast that they connected through this, when they're talking about supporting each other's books and businesses, it's so lovely to see on Facebook and on our calls that we do together. So I feel like I bounced around. I'd love to hear if people have questions for me, or Davia, are there specific things you'd like?
Well, what I want us to do is I want us to have some conversation. And guys, yes, we do have some time left on this call because we're here together right up until 2 o'clock. So what I wanted us to do is I wanted us to have some conversation about what stories could we tell? What stories would be healing for us, but also helpful for the people that we serve. And the idea came up that if we could talk a little bit about the transformation that we've had that led us to working with the clients that we work with now, maybe that's a great story to tell. And then also going on even further to talk a little bit about how our transformation is actually helping our clients. So what I was thinking we could do is I was thinking we could get into little breakout rooms and we could have a little discussion about what transformation did we have that led us to doing the work that we're doing now. And I am gonna send us all into random breakout rooms. My suggestion is that we each have 2 minutes to kind of share what we're thinking about. The question is, what transformation did you go through that led you to the work that you're doing now? And if you can answer that question and just kind of workshop it among each other, I think that that'll be useful, not just for the purpose of having conversation here, but also for the purpose of really getting clear about who it is that we're serving and why it is that we're speaking about the things that we're speaking about in our marketing. Does that make sense for all y'all? Yep. So I'm going to break us out into rooms. The rooms are very random. I recommend that the person with the very shortest hair go first, and y'all have 2 minutes each to do the thing. Here we go.
I was grateful for that because my transformation allowed me to also start an empowered life, because I felt I finally had empowered my life, that I felt I could absolutely help others empower their lives. So that's kind of the story of my transformation, and just point A to point B, everything in between, and where I am now.
Excellent, excellent. I love that story so much because it resonates. It changes the way that you treat with your patients or your clients when you've done the work yourself. I absolutely believe that that is true. When I was hopping into the groups, I had an opportunity to hear a couple of you sharing, and I perhaps most recently heard Christina sharing her story, and it sounded interesting. Would you be willing to share it with the rest of the group?
Sure. It's challenging to wrap it up in 2 minutes, but I'll do my best. What I was sharing with the breakout group that I was in is, like many of us, my transformation journey has been a series of pivotal moments. It hasn't been one, and then all of a sudden, I had a Byron Katie type moment where it was all different. After that, it was. I was raised in an incredibly dysfunctional home environment, and I had a lot of addiction around me and abandonment and things like that. So it's I'm trying to find my words because I'm trying to find the streamline that I was in when I was sharing it with the small group. But I think the biggest transformational moment happened when I was a young adult. I had a lot of just really poor ways of relating to people, and I would come from a very dysfunctional place myself because that's what I knew. And I had a relationship. I was married for 10 years and thought it was good until one day it was not. And all of a sudden my world turned upside down, and I started to realize I couldn't learn my way through that by gathering more knowledge or being someone's hero or being stronger for somebody. Like, this was my stuff and this was my thing, and it brought back all these old traumas. And it sent me on a journey of a lot of different things to try to understand how to never have that happen again. Like, I had to really accept that it was part me too. I went searching for that, and I was trying to heal something through relationship. And I think one of the more pivotal ones was finding a coach for myself. And when I found a coach for myself, I was able to really take responsibility for the pieces of my life that I was creating, that I was recreating these scenarios. And every time I gained some ground, I kind of took another punch to the gut by the universe of something else I learned about how I added to this life that I said I didn't want it to be that way anymore, and realized, well, it makes sense given what my upbringing was. So I've had to be really gentle through that process. And now at 37 years of life and owning a company and running a coaching business and being a coach to other people, I'm a huge stand for deep love. And it doesn't matter what I'm up against, I will stand for that in somebody. But I have only gotten there by being able to do that for me. And I still have days where that tape will start, where I'm up against something I really is in my zone of genius, or in that thing that I really want to do. And I'm like, the inner critic begins. But because of the process I've put myself through the last 7 years since my divorce, I've really been able to get a handle on that and have this deep well of love. And so my company is Empowered Human, and it's Empowered Human because I want to share that with people as much as possible. I want to show them that when you have this well of strength inside yourself, you take that with you everywhere, but you've got to walk through that fire first. And I literally did that in 2016. I did that in downtown Denver. I walked on hot coals in this women's conference. And that was another pivotal moment where I was like, sometimes our fear is worse than the actual thing. Yes. But if we get in action and we do that thing and we fail forward, we evolve more and more and more. Even if it means at the end of that day, we just sob it out because we can't believe we actually took that step. That little girl that was raised here would have never thought this woman would be standing here. And that's been my journey.
I love it. And I feel like if you have gone through all of this, sharing this story with people is beneficial to them also. Absolutely. I'm going to invite Elizabeth to hop on again and just talk a little bit about, because a lot of us are here running our businesses and doing the thing, and we're always looking for ways to increase our impact and our income. And so, Elizabeth, would you talk to us a little bit about how being part of a collaborative published work can actually increase your impact and your income too?
Absolutely. So I'd like to share some very specific ways that being part of a collaborative book project can help. So one is to, of course, give you credibility as being an author, a published author, and established, you're establishing authority basically in your area of expertise. And you'll also be a best-selling author because we know how to make that happen for our books. And so you can trust that that will be an experience that you're part of. And being able to say that you're a best-selling author does give you that credibility, right? So that's the first thing. It's an incredible opportunity to get to meet and network with other authors and business owners and coaches and professionals. So for example, in The Great Pause, we have 25 different authors. A lot of them are from Connecticut, but we also have authors from California, New York City, New Jersey, France, and the Cayman Islands, New Hampshire. So you're getting to extend your reach locally so that you can do cool stuff with the people that then you know more locally. But you can also have this extended reach across the country and possibly even to other countries as well. The opportunities from that alone, I mean, we're just catching a glimpse of that in this collaboration, but that could make you an international speaker by getting connected with a speaking event that somebody in the group knows. The networking opportunities are really amazing there. A lot of our speakers are, well, not a lot, but we have our authors, we have like 2 or 3 that have podcasts. So not only the things that I'm leading where I'm doing author interviews and putting that on YouTube, and I'll be starting a podcast as well, but the other people like Davidson Hang is in our group and he works at LinkedIn. He's an expert in marketing and he has a podcast. And a lot of our authors are able to then speak on that podcast as well. So you'll get a lot of opportunities for that.
And I spoke on Davidson's podcast. He had me as a guest, so that was very nice. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's really cool. As far as connections, I've worked on being intentional with cultivating the relationships between people in the collaboration by having calls that we all get to participate in. They're not required, but it's a fun way to connect. And I also have the Facebook Hive group. So being part of a collaboration effort may have this, right? Where you can connect with each other and support each other in your own projects. So for instance, when one of our authors publishes a book, they know that the people that they know from this collaboration and cultivated relationships with will be able to help promote that book, to write a review for them, right? So there's great connections that way for authors, but also business-wise. So income, there's a few different ways that you can generate income through the collaborations. One is book sales, right? So you are able to purchase author copies of the book for much less than the cover price, and then you're able to sell those books. But really, the real revenue generator is through doing events or doing coaching programs or doing something that you can create packages around it, right? So you could do, for instance, like I did with when I released Love Notes, I did an online event and sold the book as well as the class, right? It was called Words Have Power, and I was able to do that. So you can do that. But honestly, when you have credibility as an author, people, they trust you, they get to learn about you before they even have a conversation with you. They might be attracted to you in that way. And then you're able to spread your business in a solid way that's aligned for you. And it's not as time consuming as well. Another opportunity is to lead a collaborative effort of your own. This is especially exciting for people that are coaches. Say you just want support around the publishing component of it, but you'd like to lead a women's group or something that has weekly calls and support each other. And part of that is writing a book yourself. So you could actually create that, and I could support you in the book publishing process, but then you would be generating income from doing the collaborative process, because there is you could create a participation fee for the coaching group. So those are some ideas that I have, how my authors have generated income, that I've generated income. But it's mostly exciting about spreading love and getting our impact out into the world, because that's what the world needs. It needs positive shifts, and it needs us sharing our stories, because we need help right now. All of us do. Yes, spreading love.
Let me unmute myself. Wonderful. So that's all really, really great information. And of course, everybody knows that Elizabeth is a member of our Ladies Power Lunch group. So reaching out to her is as simple as just heading into the Facebook group and tagging her. It's that easy. But Elizabeth, would you be kind enough to share a little bit about our upcoming project, which is called Ladies Power Lunch Presents Power Transformations 2020. For those of you who are in the know and are aware of it, we actually do have a fall conference coming up. It's going to be on the 21st of September, and it's going to be 10:30 to 3:30 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and we have a slate of 20 women who are going to be the presenters on the program. But if you've met me, you know that I'm really not interested in giving you yet another Zoom meeting where you have to sit on for 5 hours to have your eyes glaze over. It's going to be a completely immersive, interactive and educational event. And so we're looking forward to that. And as a part of that event, Liz was just talking about doing a book project as part of an event. As part of that upcoming event, we do have this book project that's upcoming. So Liz, can you give the invitation about that?
Yes, so this is a short turnaround time for this book. Woo! And it is so exciting, because what we're doing is people are writing what their transformational story was, what they've lived through, and how that informs their business, how they help others in the world. And it really helps them ease a transition, right? I know when I work with clients, because I went through hell on earth, right, for different things, I am able to share it and ease that transition for other people. So nothing we go through is ever lost. We all have gems that the dark we walk through, we're able to get light from and be the light for other people, right? And so that is what we're sharing in this book. And even exactly, no learning is lost, right? And so that it's a pretty open-ended questions that we're writing about, but you don't have to be a published author or have experience with writing to be part of the book. But it's really a way that you can inspire others and highlight your business and what you do to connect with the people that need you right now. And I'm so pleased that we have Lynn in this book, and Dr. Davia is in the book. And we will support you. So I am supporting people in helping get clarity on what to write. We also have Audra Garling Micah, who is in, that owns The Right Fit. She will be supporting people as well in getting clarity. You might know what you write. You might have written something like this already, and you could use this vehicle to spread the word more, like reach different people or get it in print. Or it might be evolved and you're not quite clear on how to write it, and we can support you on that. But it is, we have, right now I have 11 people in the book. So we have up to 14 slots of people, for people to get on board. And because we are going to be publishing this book for September conference, September 21st, we need people that are like, yes, in and want to get started. And we need people to let us know that pretty early on. Do people have specific questions for me while I'm here about it?
Questions, concerns? Nope. Okay. Well, that's good.
If we know somebody that wants to collaborate with her, how do we best reach you, Elizabeth? By phone, text?
Text is good. 860-913-6918. And Facebook message is fine too.
Awesome. Any other questions? Any additional questions? But you all can see how being a part of a collaborative work can be beneficial for you. What I love the most about, last month what we talked about was collaboration, but what I love the most is that everybody is on board with the promotion of the book. And so if you have 14 to 25 authors, they're promoting it. They're promoting you to their audience. They're basically promoting you to their audience through this book. So there are these people, these millions and millions of people who never, ever, ever heard about you before, who are going to have an opportunity to hear your story. So I think from that point of view, it's just a great, great idea. And I definitely do extend the invitation. If it feels right for you, reach out to Elizabeth, and she can give you more information about how to be a part of it. I know a lot of you write blogs, a lot of you have things that you already have written that are just sitting, waiting for the world to hear about and to really transform somebody else's life. So I know for about 70% of the population, waiting for something, the right thing to respond to, is right for you. So ask yourself, yes or no, is this sounding like a good project for me? Is this sounding like something that will be advancing my agenda and the agenda of my business? And if the answer is yes, then I say hop on it quickly, because unfortunately or fortunately, sometimes it's good to do things quickly. The turnaround time on this is pretty short. So before we go, guys, because we're at 1:58 and I really want to be respectful of everybody's time, I just want to say thank you to Elizabeth for taking the time to hop on with us today and share her expertise, not just from the coaching standpoint, but also from the point of view of being a publisher, and how wonderfully she has been able to do that and to help others to increase their impact, tell their story, and increase their income. I also want to thank you all for showing up. It was really, really nice to hear all of you share about yourselves, about your businesses, and to hear your wonderful, wonderful book recommendations. I have 24 recommendations, and usually we go for 24 so we can read 2 books a month. So I am looking forward with great anticipation to diving into some of these, because some of them I have read before, but some of them I haven't. So really looking forward to that. And then the last thing is just to give you an idea of what's upcoming. Now we have 3 Ladies Power Lunch events that we're doing. We have our monthly networking meeting, which is this meeting where we all get to know each other a little bit better. We also have Ladies Power Lunch coffee breaks, which are just a tight half hour where we dive into a topic that everybody needs more information on. So, like we did Canva 101, we did book publishing 101, we did um, making an online program 101, and we've just been doing a lot of those. If you've missed any of them, you might be able to find them in the Facebook group, or you might be able to go over to our YouTube channel and find them there. And then coming up, and also we have free gift Fridays, which is just a fun thing where a member highlights their business and gives something away to our members for free. So coming up as far as events go, September 21st is our fall summit. October 19 is our bazaar. That's when we support our members who sell physical products and buy stuff from them to give to people for Christmas or for the holidays. So instead of buying from the big box store or the big.com, let's try to be mindful of supporting each other this holiday season. All the proceeds from the fall summit are going towards our Ladies Power Lunch Foundation fund. And this year we're building a fund, we're building a grant so that we can support a woman-owned business that is local to us. And when I say local to us, I mean a member of the Ladies Power Lunch community that might have suffered during the pandemic. And so I want to just keep that in mind when you're looking into whether or not this is an event that you should attend. In November, we're having our visualization workshop, and in December, we're having our planning workshop. So lots of great things planned for Ladies Power Lunch coffee breaks. The last ones, we're looking at Clarity 101, Transform Your Time Management, course creation, Canva, turning obstacles into opportunities, podcasts, productivity tools like Asana. We're going to be talking about that this week. Delegating and virtual assistants. I know everybody's going to want to be on that. And of course, we have a wonderful, wonderful slate of Free Gift Fridays set up as well for us to all have fun. So thank you all for coming. Glad you all could make it today. And I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon at our very next event. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.